I'm gonna talk about, well, this is gonna be my second speech, and I'm gonna talk about how sports can change the life of the teenagers. Like how can they help the teenagers? Like why are the sports so important for teenagers? First, I wanted to explain what a teenager is. A teenager is a kid, of course, a teen from 10 to 20, kid that they don't. I mean, right now I'm 21, so I went through this phase. That a teenager thinks they think they know everything. They think they control everything in life. They say that everything is under control, but in the end they don't know what they're doing. They're not capable of understand what is good and what is wrong. And that is where sports comes for bigger play, like plays a big role in it. Like for me, for example, when I was a teenager, I was I was overweight. I have problems. I have social problems. I didn't know how to socialize with people. I didn't know how to get included into a group. And I gotta say that sport helped me. Sport saved me. And actually, right now, because of sport, I'm living outside of America, outside of my country, my born country, and I'm living my dream. That is playing the sport that I love and being able to study outside abroad. Like because of what happened when I was a teenager, now I can say that I'm really proud of it. And it is really sad that there's a lot of reasons why the teenagers quit sports. Like sometimes there's pressure to perform. There's injuries that can result in a lot of damage, or because of overtraining, or because of there is not that coaches or athletic trainers, they don't follow the rules. Like they are not on top of the kids 24/7 whenever they're injured or whenever they're performing bad. They're not giving that motivation, that confidence that sometimes teenagers need because they don't know what they're doing. So whenever you give that confidence to them, they understand that they have that support and that someone is believing in them, you know. And sometimes there's, I don't know, well, here in America sometimes it's a lack of competence, you know. In this, I can see it now that I'm living in a town. There's kids that are quitting because there's no competition. Like there's no level, there's not a structure setting up levels, you know. So there's kids that are really good against kids that are really bad. So these kids that are really bad, they see themselves like this is not what I have to do because it's not that I'm good at. Then they might be good, but they never have that choice to improve, you know. And sometimes because of time demands, parents want their children to succeed in studying in life, and they don't see sports as succeeding. And for that, I will have to say that sometimes sports is the tool to succeed in studies, to succeed in life. For example, for me, sports is everything I have, and because of sports, I moved to the world. I went to Norway. I went to UK. I went to Spain, America. Like because of I'm good at something, it made me it made me study things. It opened doors for me to succeed in life. Like why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I'm trying to encourage all teenagers to do sports, even if you're not good at it, even if it's just a social distress. Like even if it's something that you go out with your friends and have fun. Like you don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. I would say the sport help teenagers live a more active life. It can reduce the risk of obesity. It can reduce the pressure in the blood. It can play a big part in the mentally, socially, and psychologically part of a human being. You know, sports are really important. Even if you don't active doing it, you're not gonna get that active part, but you're gonna get that social, mental. You're gonna get that social part out of it because you're gonna be able to talk about a game. You're gonna be able to talk about something a big event that happened. You're gonna be able to learn out of it. You know, I think sport is a really good social. It's a really good way to stress, like keep it, get your stress out of your body. just watching soccer, watching basketball, watching what you love, and then talking to your friends about it, trying to understand why they did this, why they do that. And sometimes even you get into the life of the into the tea of the players and the clubs and everything that is going on, the universities, and oh look, this one they said that. So it's a way of socializing. So I think it's a really good thing. And for example, right now with all the coronavirus, it's killing all that. The only thing that we see in the news is this player got coronavirus or this player got coronavirus. We don't see this player did this, you know. So what the channels are trying to do is just playing old videos, old games about the sport, so people can still see the sport. Like we need sports in life, even if it's not practicing. We need to see it. We need to be there. You know, like sport. I don't think we will be able to live without sports. I think that even in the Stone Age, people find a way to compete physically, even if it's throwing a rock as far as you can. That's a sport. I mean, I would say that's a sport. It's not a professional sport maybe, but it's still a sport. It's a physical activity, outdoors or indoor, that it gets you to compete for something, you know. And I would say here in America, more of the 30% of American teens are overweight, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. And overweight teenagers may face a lot of difficulties in life. They can develop health complications, in diabetes, asthma. They can have mental ailments, including, I don't know, depression, anxiety. There's a lot of problems that come without overweight, and in America it's a big problem. So what I would say is, when you have your kids, you put them into a sport, you create that you create that positive mentality about the sport. Like you push them in a way into the sport, of course, without overstepping, because if you overstep, the kid's not gonna like it. He's gonna feel pushed into something. You just gotta show him that it's a good thing. It's a good thing to the sport. It's a good activity, better than maybe being inside playing video games. When you're not socializing, you're just playing a game. And you know, like for example, you play soccer. Yeah, you play soccer. It's true. You play for 2 hours. You don't talk maybe in the game, but when the game's over, you go straight, for example, and you're talking with your friends saying, "Oh, you this happened or this happened," then you say, "Hey, you remember this time in school that I did this?" You know, like you get that socializing part. It's a way of socializing. You know, it's a way of getting out of the normal routine that it will be being in school or something, or being in the house, and you take it to another place that you can socialize and learn about things. Playing sport I would say they teach teenagers many valuable life skills, including leadership. Sometimes develop a teamwork, cooperation. Like it's not only about socializing too. You know, it's about learning. It's about learning new skills that you can learn. For example, drawing. You can learn how to draw. You can learn the colors when you're a kid. When you're a teenager, you need different things. You need to learn how to work as a team, because whenever you're gonna work for a company later in life, you need teamwork. You need cooperation and leadership to go forward, to succeed. And I think the sports give you this, you know, because for example leadership, you can see in your coach, the way he coaches, the way he approaches the players. You know, you can take examples from good coaches. And they also need to handle teenagers, they also need to handle a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, set goals in life. Even if they're not going to get it, even if they're not going to reach that goal, they need a goal, they need a purpose for life. And playing a sport allows teenagers to build that goal, to have the illusion to get to that goal. And of course, there's good things and bad things about sports, but I will say there's more good things than bad things. The bad thing about sports, it can be people that make a use bad out of a sport, like coaches that they get so into the sport that they forget that the players are human beings, like they're people. Like you cannot treat them bad, you cannot kill the dreams. That's why, for example, whenever I play soccer, I say it's not about playing soccer, it's about setting an example for the kids, setting an example for the one that are following you, to make this to make sport something good out of sports. You know, it's not about winning a game, it's not about winning a championship. It's about whenever you get home, that kid is proud of you, that kid sees you as an example in life, and it can keep you out of drug problems. It can keep you out of problems in school. Like in a way, you set an example for that those teenagers that sees you as an idol, you know. So it is a really important thing for me, soccer in life. Not only because it's competition and we all like competition, we all like to win. It's because it can teach the teenagers, it can teach everyone things. Even now with all the coronavirus, I can tell there's I will say soccer because it's the sport that I do. The best soccer in the world, the best soccer player in the world, Lionel Messi. He just donated a lot of money, just to help with the coronavirus problem. You know, like that is an example. You know, then and there was this another player called Adebayor that he said, I don't donate money. Don't come to me. I don't donate money. It's the way I am. I'm not gonna do it. And that's bad. That's the only thing that I hate about sports. Those type of people that make a bad living out of sports. You know, like he's setting a bad example. He's showing that sports is all about making money and do what you want. And it's not like that. It's about making money, yes, making a living, but to show people that to how do you say it? To encourage people to do good things in life. You know, to donate, for example. Because if I donate, I'm no one. If I donate something, no one is gonna care. Maybe the people that I donate to, but if a soccer player donates, everyone's gonna be like, oh look, he donated all this money to this organization to help for cancer, for example, and it's gonna be a viral video. It's gonna be a viral news. That's why they have the power of they have the power of lead these teenagers to succeed. You know, if all the sports players were like this, I would say the world would be better. If there's no selfish about money, like if people didn't care, if they only want the money to live and that's it, they don't want. I'm all against about earning millions and millions of dollars playing sports because that it can be easily turned into a bad use of the money and the social level that they are into. But it is true that for example in women sports can decrease risky behaviors, but in males it can be really dangerous. That's the the con of the sports in teenagers. This can be in this can be increased by the risk of drinking, violence, abusing drugs, and it's all because of what I said. Like you can see all these professional players that they're abusing drugs. They saying weed is good, weed is really good. Why don't you legalize it in the organization? And it's like no, you don't need the kids to see that. You can do it. You can if it's what you believe, you can do it. I don't care, but you don't show that to the world because if you show that to the world, the kids are gonna think that it's a good thing, and I think that the purpose of life is to have family and to make that family succeed. And if for example, if my kid is watching a soccer professional player doing that, saying that weed is a good thing and we should legalize, I will say to him, no, he's not a good soccer player. Because being a soccer player, for example, is not for me. It's not just scoring goals, playing good. It's about being good off field. You gotta be a good person off field to be a good soccer player. Because as I said, you gotta be an example for the kids. That's what it means being a sports professional is. You can be good in a sport, but you get to be professional whenever you're an example for the ones that come behind you. And that's all I have to say about how sport is so important for teenagers and how it can change your life. Only a good coach can change your life. A good example in life as a soccer player that it's a good person can change your life. It's the details. Details can change your life whenever you're a teenager. And you gotta be able to follow those that do good out of sports. And if you can if you can try and do sports as much as you can, you will feel that relief in the end of the day that you always need. That's what I'm trying to encourage here. So yeah, I hope that I could change some mind about how to see things about sports with this small speech. And well, thank you and have a good day.